Hey guys, welcome to Traditional Bow Hunting Wilderness Podcast. This is Jason Samkoviak, and I'm on my way right now down to a pig hunt down in Georgia. The coronavirus is going on, so I wanted to clear a couple things up. Now, so I'll cover some of that, and then we'll get into this hunt. But I'm going to document this kind of start to finish. I'll probably throw some other stuff in here as well for you from my other pig hunts. I killed a pig, a public land pig in Georgia, which I'll probably show a picture of right in here, a little bit of details for that. I'll bounce it in and out of here for you. And then I went down, I did a second trip down there with my wife, and we only saw one pig on that trip. We saw 8 pigs the first trip when I killed that pig. We saw 8 pigs total between me and her, and she was using a rifle, didn't have an opportunity because she was using a 22 mag and just couldn't get pigs to stay still enough or close enough for her to be able to make that perfect brain shot with a 22 mag that we were using. But we saw 8 pigs total, killed one on that first trip. I went down again 2 weeks later with her, and we saw 1 pig that entire trip. Lots of dog hunters, there were a ton of people hunting dogs down there, and it was pretty tough conditions. And we hunted for 2.5 days and didn't see but 1 pig. Then I went to South Carolina on a specialty pig hunt down there. I did not kill a pig there. I got 1 shot at a pig. And it was because I came into a sounder of them as I busted through some brush. They all took off, and the last one to leave was moving a little slow and cruising through there, and gave me a chance to get an arrow on a string and take a shot, and ended up sticking that broadhead in a tree right as he passed by on a leading kind of shot. So I did not kill a pig there, but I saw 28 pigs in 2 days down there. So that was a good hunt as well. Now I'm going down here. This trip was originally going to be with John and my buddy Dan. We're going to come also. Dan works in essential services and found a way John works as an essential employee and had to be at work during this corona epidemic, so he couldn't go. And then Dan found a way to turn his business into something that could help stop the spread for others, and fogging warehouses and doing things, so he couldn't go either because he found a way to use this, to help keep businesses rolling. So he couldn't. So I'm all by myself going down here. I have my tent, I have my cooler full of food, my sleeping bag, I got my 2 bows, I got everything I need. I will not run into another person on this trip. I'm going down here for 3 days, and 3 days of hunting, 2 nights of staying. Also, people yell at me when I do these things in the car about how I'm not wearing my seatbelt. I have my seatbelt off in order to record this, because either I'm holding the phone out there or I have to get up there to set the phone. It's too hard to do with the seatbelt on. When I'm done recording this, I will put my seatbelt back on. So I don't want to hear it. Stop complaining. But those of you that are worried about me coronavirus-wise, I have everything I need. All I have to do is make 2 gas stops on the way down there, go straight to where I'm hunting, and I stay right there in my tent. I do not encounter another person. On my way back, same thing. 2 gas stops on the way back. I have my mask right here. One of my construction masks that I use for when I'm working on bone and, when I'm grinding bone and working on antler mounts and stuff. I have these masks. I have 3 of them. This is one of them. I have it right here in my car if I have to run into a gas station or into a rest area to go to the bathroom. I have rubber gloves right here for pumping gas. I have Perel sanitizer right here. I have not a worry in the world. I live on 5 acres of land up in a county in Michigan that has only got, as of now, 1 case of coronavirus in the entire county where I live at. Okay, so there's no issues there. And then I'm driving to the woods where there's nobody. So I don't want to hear that stay home, this isn't fair, you shouldn't be doing this, you're not following the CDC guidelines, you're breaking laws. Knock it off. Do what you want to do, but get off my ass on what I'm doing, because I'm not an issue here whatsoever. But I am not wired to sit in my house. I'm not going to do it. And I have my own opinions on this virus and what it really means, and I'm pretty pissed off about the whole thing. I have lost more money than you guys can fathom. I mean, I have already lost almost 30% of my annual income. I don't want to hear another freaking thing about this virus. if you know somebody that's sick and caught this, I feel really bad, and I understand it. It's hitting home for you. But for somebody like me, this is non-existent. Yet my whole world has to stop because of this stupid thing. I'm pretty upset about it. But I am getting away, and I'm going to go down there, and I'm going to go do a pig hunt. And like I said, as far as complaining about it, I'm doing everything safer than anything you want. If you walk out your house and go to your mailbox, you're probably more at risk than anything I'm doing. So I don't want to hear it, okay? Now, as far as the trip goes, I will keep you in a loop. I'm going to try and document as much of this as I can. Like I said, if I haven't already, I'll throw some of the footage from some of my other trips in there. I have all that recorded. Not quite sure how I'm going to work all this in, but I did do some recording, and I want to turn it into kind of like a pig hunting vlog, they call them, video log, something. So I will keep you posted, keep you in a loop. Right now, I'm on my way and driving down. I got 15 hours in the car, and we'll play it from there and see what happens. I don't even know why I wear rubber boots. As you can see, I am soaked. I try to stay dry when I'm out here hunting. I'm in Georgia hunting hogs. You can see I got a hog on my back. Actually, just killed my first public land hog. And I thought I'd take the more direct route out of here. And it has been just pure, nasty swamp to get through. But I'm almost there. Only about a half mile and I'm at the truck. But like I said, I don't know why I bother. I'm in a little shell now, but it's almost waist deep. I had to hike my pants up just to get through here. So quite the adventure, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. It beats being at home in 3-degree weather and in the snow. This is much better any time of the week. All right, guys, we are here at the truck right now, getting ready to head out. This is day 2 for our February pig hunt here. Tina was out. We got here yesterday, got camp set up real quick with the camper, and then we got out here about 10 a.m. We hunted till dark yesterday. Had to take a break to run back and go pay for the site and all that kind of stuff, but we spent most of the day yesterday out here, and we saw 2 pigs yesterday. No shot opportunities, but we did see 2 pigs. And we got out here right after daylight, about 7:30 this morning, and we did not see any pigs this morning, not yet. But and then about 12:30, Tina wanted to go back to the camper, and she wants to take the afternoon off, so I dropped her off. It is now 10 minutes to 2, and that gives me about 4 hours and 15 minutes, and I'm gonna get out here myself and see what we can find. What's kind of nice is, she's been a trooper on this, and she likes to get into that stuff, but we're going 2 people. So that's when we're trying to stalk and move through these areas. 2 people make so much noise, so it makes it a lot harder. So as much as I love hunting with her, I'm kind of excited about having this couple hours to myself, get out here and see what we can make happen. So, all right, let's see how it goes. Pig poop. That's pig poop right there, and you can see it's actually still wet. So that's some fresh pig poop. Hopefully we can get into them. We've been working this little edge of this swamp right here. It's not as thick as I'd like it to be. I actually prefer it to be a little thicker because it is daytime, which means that these pigs are probably bedded, and I got to sneak up on them. But what I'm trying to do is work this mud line along here where I get a little quieter footing. But you can see fresh pig poop there, fresh pig poop there, pig poop there, little pig trail running right along here as well too. So hopefully we're on the right track and I can eventually catch up to them. But this is the key. But if I walk up there, all this stuff up here is really crunchy and loud. If I stay down here where this stuff is wetter, that holds the moisture and leaves, and it's a lot quieter for me to walk. So we're going to see what we find.
pig hunting stuff is literally a still hunt type deal. I had fresh pig sign back there. I got water over here in front of me, as you're seeing right out here. This is still that end. We're coming to the end of this little pothole here, heading right up through here where it's kind of getting thicker. But the thing you got to remember is this stuff is loud. Listen, you have to learn to walk quiet on it, and you're basically walking 20, 25 yards, stop, stand there for 2, and I don't mean 10 seconds, I mean 2 minutes, listen, let the pigs tell you where they are, or you're moving slow enough that maybe you can sneak up on them when they're bedded or something like that. But like I said, you can't just go crashing through the woods. This stuff is too noisy as it is. Like I said, if you look at this terrain here, and this is still what I consider open, I'm hoping it gets thicker in here. I've never been in here before, but I'm hoping we get thicker, especially for daytime for bedding. But if you have to just move slow, quietly, stop often, and listen, and let's see what you can find. Okay. I hit this little road. You can see I'm on like a little type logging road here. That side's where I was just at over there. And here's this. Finishes out. Now, the thing you got to remember about Georgia, December, January, February, this thing's flooded. Okay, you can see all the water in here too. But what happens is, look at the water right there. See where that, you can see it down there. That's water, that black spot in the road down there. That's a huge puddle right there that is flooding from this. And it shuts down a lot of these roads. So these back roads that I'm on, most of the spring, summer, and even into the fall, like during deer season, these are probably drivable. But once the rainy season comes in, you can't get into them anymore. And got some ducks taken off, but anyway, yeah, so like I said, they flood out, but I came out of there, I hit this road. Now, the other thing with pig hunting is you have to watch the wind, okay? The wind is everything. A pig's nose is incredible, and he'll bust you every time. Now, the wind right now is going that way, which is why I was hunting in over there on that edge so that I could be in there with my wind not bothering me. But now, I want to hunt here. I want to be in this stuff right here, but I cannot go in here because of the way my wind is blowing straight out into there, kind of on that angle right there, and I can't have that. So what I'm doing is I hit this road, and I'm hoping, never been here before, but I'm hoping that this road goes up and wraps around this somewhere, or there's a way for me to get on the other side of this. That's what I want to do, because then the wind will be going that way, and I can hunt the edge of this and see what can happen. So that's the goal. So we're going to walk this road here for a little bit. It doesn't show up on my GPS or on X. This road does not show up on there, so I can't tell what it actually is or where it goes or what it does. So we're gonna walk it. Hopefully it gives me something. It gives me a way to get on the other side of this palmetto marsh and lets me get into pigs. So we'll be back. We'll see what happens. You can see here that I'm on this little stream right here, runs through here. Just a little stream. You know, you can see water everywhere, but I'm kind of following this stream. There's this low spot that runs through here. What I'm letting it do is I'm letting it make me very quiet, because again, you're pretty noisy and all this stuff. You can see how thick all this is. This is what I like. This is where I want to be. But by using this waterway, listen when I'm walking. Hear that? Nothing. Dead silent, because I'm in the water. Now if I come over here, watch when I hit even this spot right here, even where it's still pretty muddy, you can see all that mud right there, so it's still wet. Listen when I step here. Even as I try to be quiet, it's still hard to be quiet. So using the little waterway that I have right here really lets me keep my noise down, lets me keep my ears open, and I can listen and see if I can find where any of these pigs are. Pigs are notoriously noisy, and if I can hear them squealing, walking in water, grunting, anything, rooting, then I can then hone in on where they are. But this lets me move through this waterway here, lets me move through this bedding area very quietly and without causing any alarm, and lets me do the listening. See the roads like we're on here. They give you a way to walk through here very quietly, and you can get through the country. I mean, there's a lot of places where they got little roads like this, little 2 tracks and back roads and stuff like that. But if a car comes down here, pigs will bail. They won't be around at all. They'll bail because they hear that car coming. But if you're walking them, you can walk these and listen and watch the sides. Sometimes you see one cross the road. I've actually never, when I'm out walking, seen a pig cross the road. But you can hear them in the woods on the sides. You can hear them squeak once in a while. You can hear them rustling around and rooting, that kind of stuff. But it gives you real quiet access on these roads to be able to walk through an area and check it out real good. And if there's any puddles or soft mud or things like I just showed you on the road, you can actually see that pretty well. You'll also find good rooting on the roads. That's because of the fact that they'll come out to them at night usually, and they'll start pawing up for old acorns and things like that on here. Like this is some old rooting you can see right here. That's all pig rooting. Right there, it's older, but that's pig rooting right here. That's what all that is. That's pigs digging up and looking for leftover acorns. So you can tell because the pigs use their nose and literally push up the dirt and get right up under there with it. I mean, they literally roll the sod with their face. So it's nothing like a turkey scratching. It's a whole different look to it, whole different thing. But they're, like I said, when you find good sign of pig rooting, like this sign here is actually a little older. This doesn't impress me quite as much. But the fresh tracks tell me they're still here. So you just got to interpret the sign. Use it like a nesting doll. Open it up. See what the next one brings. Move on. Follow it. Check it. That's the game plan here. These vultures keep circling me, and they've been with me for the last mile that I've been in this swamp. I am in the swamp, but I'm loving it because it's actually pretty shallow, as you can see here. You know, it's not too bad of water, so it's a pretty good setup. I got pig sign everywhere, but I can't hear crap because of all these frickin' vultures. Hear them in the trees. They're up there. They're circling everywhere. They're all running around. There's got to be 20 of them here. See, I'm looking just everywhere up there. And they've just been following me, like I said, for about the last mile. And they're, like I said, pissing me off. I can't hear with them running here on both sides of me, moving around. And they're just like waiting for me to die in a swamp here. But hopefully they kind of start to back off here pretty soon. Because I have no intentions of dying out here. And I can't hear if there's any pigs because they're flapping and bouncing off to all the trees in here.
All right, well, I just got back to the truck. This is day 2, and it is a wrap. I did not see any pigs. Covered a lot of ground. Actually, I shouldn't say I covered a lot of ground today because I was actually in the swamps a lot. So I didn't really cover. We did about 4 miles of walking, me and Tina, this morning. And then I took her back to the camper. I came back, and I'll bet I did probably another 3 miles. And I'll bet one of those miles took me probably 2.5 hours, to get through there. Pretty thick, nasty where I was, and I was moving real slow, hoping to find them. But this is pig hunting. You find a good sign and you try and get in on the pig. Sometimes the terrain lets you, sometimes it doesn't. There's so many variables, and but I did not see a pig at all tonight. We got one more day left, and tomorrow, and I'm thinking it's going to be the same way. I think Tina's going to come out and hunt with me in the morning till about noon. And then it's a 45-minute drive back to the camper. So we're going to drive out here, get here at 7:30 in the morning, hunt till noon. I will then take her back to the camper, drop her off, and I'll come back, and then I'll hunt the evening. And that seems to be what works good for her. She doesn't want to be, it kills her to be out here all day. She was out here all day yesterday and about wore her right out. So, that's pig hunting. No, like I said, not easy at all, but got into a lot of sign. I know exactly where we're going to go tomorrow. In continuation of that, like I said, you just can't cover as much ground as you want to when you're moving that slow. So I found really good pig sign. I found really good stuff, and I found tremendous huge areas that would hold pigs. but it's just so big, and it just takes time to navigate and get around through there. You could go running through there and bust them up. I could have went through there where I was in the swamp, and instead of walking real slow through the water, I could have got on hard ground and went crashing through there, and I could have probably saw 8 pigs, 7 pigs, but I would have just been busting them up and watching them run away. That's not how you hunt them. In order to hunt them, I need to be able to get within traditional bow range of them. So for me, that means I need to sneak up on them without them knowing I'm there. That is very hard to do on a 70-degree day with sun out and pure dry leaves everywhere and that kind of stuff. But that's what we deal with sometimes. So we're going to try to get them around. We'll keep you in the loop, see what and let you know what happens. All right, last day. This is day 3 basically here, and I just dropped Tina off back at the camper. We hunted for about 4.5 hours this morning. She's pretty wore out, so she's just going back to relax. And I am heading back out there to go give this a shot again here. We did not see anything this morning. And like I said, it's been kind of a tougher hunt, but it's also been very tricky conditions. You know, when we were down here a couple weeks ago, it was colder. You know, temps in the mid-40s to breaking barely 50 one day. And so that would help get the pigs moving. And then on top of that, we had like 5 to 10 mile an hour winds each day that were pretty steady. The last 2 days, and including this morning, have been light and variable winds, which have been brutal, because then they're affected by everything that you're dealing with out there. Every roadway, every intersection, the way the wind comes across the water, the thermal pulls from the water, the places where there is no water, you get the little bit of hills in there. You have all these variables that really throw that wind around, and I've noticed it this trip tremendously. The wind is all over the place, and then it's also been incredibly dry. And if it's dry, then like I said, very quiet, or it's hard to be quiet in there, especially with 2 people. And so it continues. Now, we did find pig sign. It took us the first day of cruising around to find good pig sign. And then we spent all day yesterday in that pig sign trying to find them and strategically working through these areas and trying to find out where they're spending their daytime at, where they're bedding at for daytime, where they feel safe enough to be with daylight to be moving in. And that's been the struggle part. We find a lot of sign in there, but we're not actually seeing or finding the pigs yet. Yesterday I didn't find any, and then today, this morning, like I said, we're seeing tons of sign. So I know it's where the pigs want to be. But again, keep in mind that this is public land. We have got, every day we've been here, we can hear dogs. There's people out there small game hunting, running them with running deer with, or running, birds and, you name it, and squirrels and everything with dogs out there. We've ran into a couple small game hunters that were just spot and stalk squirrel hunting and looking for anything to shoot. And you got all these variables out there. The acorns are gone, so they're not eating those. So there's just so much happening that these pigs, you got to remember, a pig is a very intelligent animal, one of the most intelligent animals, and it has an incredible nose on it. You don't believe me? Look that up. They learn, okay? They pay attention, and they actually learn almost like we do as humans about where people are, where not to go. Very susceptible to pressure. Hunting pigs on public land like this is not easy. Okay, this is not an easy task to do. Now, if I lived here and I knew all these places and I scouted this stuff ahead of time and could spend more time than 3 days, here and there down here, it would probably be a lot different. I'd probably be a hog killing machine. It's a lot tougher when you only come down for a couple of days and then you're not down for a month, and then you come down for a couple more days and then you don't come back till 2 months later, and then you don't come back till the next year. That makes it very complicated because pigs are nomadic, so they're moving. So if you're planning to come down and do a trip somewhere down in the south for pigs like this, understand it is hard. The number of people that can pull this off with a traditional bow and get into that range that we need is very small number of people. Not a lot can do this. It is harder than you think. And now gun hunters and compound guys, they got a lot easier. They can walk roads all day and eventually maybe see a pig on the side somewhere, or hear one and stalk in on it. It's a lot different for a traditional bow hunter, where we need those ultra close ranges, so it makes it a lot harder. So it's just something to keep in the back of your head. It's a tough hunt, without fail. It is definitely a tough hunt.
All right, we are out here getting ready to head in, and like I said, my tactic, this is my last night of hunting here, and it's already 2:20, so I got about 4 hours, basically, about 4 hours to make this happen. 76 degrees, so it's very, very warm, especially for me coming from snow. But I think what my attempt is going to be is just to get into this swamp, but to keep the wind in my face. Now, this is the first time. When we left here this morning, dead calm. It's been dead calm for 2 days. Now I'm actually getting, we got a pretty decent breeze blowing, so it's going to keep the wind consistent, and I'm just going to break into this swamp. I've covered a lot of areas around here where this pig sign is without any luck, and I've seen a lot of sign, but I'm not seeing pigs. Now I'm just diving in thick and mean and nasty, and I have no rhyme or reason. I'm just going to get in there and let this sign guide me and try and find some pigs in there bedded somewhere or something like that. That's the game plan, at least for the next 3 hours, and I'll reevaluate what I want to do for that last hour. But that is the game plan. Now, if you're planning a pig hunt, I do want to recommend here for you snake boots. Okay, snake boots are good. Snake boots will keep you, especially on a 75-degree day like this, it's important to be wearing snake boots. And if you come later in the spring, it's important too. Now, these ones here, this is my second pair of snake boots, and I highly recommend these. I'll put a link down below for you, but the reason I like them is I had a pair of leather ones. I don't remember who made them, maybe Rocky, I think. Leather snake boots, and they were about the same price, but let me put it this way, they're waterproof for the occasional puddle. They are not waterproof for running around in the swamps. These are very lightweight. They're very durable. They hold up really, really good. These have got I've probably walked 50 miles in these boots already, and they're holding up very, very good. And they're nice and lightweight, so highly recommend them. Whatever these are, the Alpha Burley snake boot by Lacrosse, but they're fantastic. But you're going to be out here running around when it's this warm out. I recommend you have yourself a good pair of snake boots. Those are important. There goes my GPS down there. We'll need that with us out there because it just definitely makes life a lot easier. Now, that's about it though. Got my bow, my pack, my hat. I'm not wearing a shirt at all because it is too hot, so I'm just going to hunt in my t-shirt that I'm wearing right now, and we're going to get that bow strung, get ready to roll, and see what happens. I'm assuming pig bed right there. I'm guessing that is a pig bed. I don't know what else would do that, so I'm thinking pig bed. It's too loud in here, so I'm not walking over to show you, but if you look right underneath there, right in that corner, right there, you can see a pig bed. See the depression? See where it's hollowed out? Pig bed right there. Like I said, you can see it's pretty thick in here. And I'm working my way through and just seeing what I can find and seeing if I can find a pig, but I got to go real slow in here because it's pretty loud. We got a big wallow right here. Rub marks right here where he's rubbing the mud off. Rub marks right there where they rub the mud off. Wallow right here. Wallow right there. Pig tracks everywhere in here. You can actually see the hair lines from their body laying there in the hair where the hair is. Right there. So we're getting some kind of sign here. Like I said, can't complain yet. Another wallow. This is another wallow. Now this one's actually pretty open in here. You can see we're getting down the last half hour of daylight. We got a wallow right there. That's the swamp. Right there you can hear the frogs. And I just walked out of there, just cutting back up now because it got to be too much for me in there. Got too much open water, so I cut up here and come to a wallow right here. No pigs in it. Would be nice if there was.
Well, there you have it. That basically sums up day 3. Was a good day. I did not see any pigs today. And like I said, we had a great time this morning. I did see that snake tonight. Got into a lot of pig sign. I've seen so much pig sign. I'm guessing it just has to do with the pressure. I mean, in the last 3 days, we've seen probably, I'm going to guess and say probably 15 different pig hunters. We saw 2 on foot we ran to in the woods. We ran into 2 small game hunters that were looking for squirrels. We heard about probably, I don't know, maybe 35, 40 different gunshots in 3 days. We saw 7 dog hunters trucks with dogs in the back, or with dog boxes in the back, and we heard, I don't know, probably 5, 8 different sets of dogs in 3 days. So a lot of pressure out here, and that probably has something to do with it. But it was a great time. I may come out here in the morning, and because we got to leave, we got to be out our camper loaded up and gone by noon tomorrow, and it's a 45-minute drive from where I'm hunting to where the camper is. So So basically, I could get out here at like it's 7 or 7:15 in the morning, right at daybreak, and hunt until probably about 10 o'clock. And I may very well do that. I might do it just for the exercise. Again, it's so nice down here. It's so cold and snowy at home. We got 6.5 inches of snow last night. My daughter said she's mad because she's got a shovel, and it's 76 degrees is what it was today. It's still 68. There's a deer right there. So it's beautiful out here, but this hog hunting stuff, like I said, it's hard. It is hard. It's not like deer. You can't pattern them. This time of year, you deal with pressure from everybody. Keep in mind, pigs are nocturnal already. So it's not like, oh, they go nocturnal. They're already nocturnal. You know, trying to see them during the day is, you know, a tough thing to do, especially when it's hot. They're going to be wallowed up somewhere and tucked in somewhere where it's really hard to get to them or to find them. It's a tough hunt, but it's fantastic. It's beautiful in the sense that it's peaceful. And it's, you know, it's new terrain that I've never been in before, and it's great exercise, and it's beautiful weather in February. You can't go wrong with that. Now we're going to come back down here in April. Me and John are going to come back down here. Maybe that'll be better because there's no small game season open. It's technically turkey season, and we'll have to buy turkey tags. But we may come down here, and we probably won't hunt too much for turkeys because the pigs are more important to us. But we'll come down here for 3 days in April and try to get in on these hogs again and try and find them, and maybe it'll be a little better. You know, by then turkey season will be almost a month into it, so it'll probably have the pressure from turkey hunters will probably have died out some. Plus, you know, all the snakes are out, every greenery's up like crazy, ticks are horrible. You know, it's just miserable out there. Gators will be running around out there when you're down by the river and in the lakes and stuff like that. So you never know. It could be an adventure, could not be. We don't know what they'll be feeding on. There's already basically no acorns left for them. That's the hard part about it. See, when I went out there the first day, we went and we checked the spots where I killed my pig a week and a half ago, or actually 2 weeks ago, and we went there and we went to where we saw 9 pigs in 2.5 days on that trip. We were here a week and a half ago, or 2 weeks, whatever it was, and but we saw 9 pigs. And inside a range, 9 pigs. Inside, when I say range, I mean inside of 40 yards of my wife's gun that she was using, but only one that killed a pig was me. But 9 pigs we saw there. This trip, we only saw 1 pig on the first day, and that was it. Now, again, maybe something in the morning, but it's tough hunting, and it's hit or miss. And, I mean, there's more pig sign here now than what we found when we were here a week and a half ago. Just not finding the pigs at the pig sign. So always an adventure. We'll see what happens. Maybe I'll come out in the morning. If not, we might be ending this right here. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
All right, we are here. We are in Georgia, and we are officially pig hunting. I parked the car about a half hour ago. Hiked about a half mile down here to a swamp that we've seen pigs on before. And starting to work that edge and see what I find in here. We're finding really good rooting in here. Right along here, as you can see. So feeling pretty good. We're going to see what we find in here now. Look at the size of those pig beds right there compared to my bow. You can see it depressed in right there. Pig beds. This is how bad the bugs are. Look at this. I'm wearing 100% DEET. Look at this. Look at this. 100% DEET. That's the kind of stuff we're looking for right there. Look at that. Pig tracks there. Pig tracks. Look how it's all ripped up in here. Freshly shredded pig sign right there. And that is exactly the kind of stuff we're trying to find. I just missed a pig in 15 yards standing right here where I was. And I was right by that tree. Right there. I was moving through, coming across this way. And I happened to look over and saw him standing here. He was standing perfectly broadside, but because of that tree and that thing, I couldn't tell which way he was facing. So I had to wait for him to move. He moved and he gave me one quick little shot right here, and then poof, I missed and he took off that way. I shot just over him. Actually, I'm sorry, just under him, just right underneath of him. And 15-yard shot from right over there. First pig shot opportunity so far this trip. This area is just wrecked with pig sign. I mean, there's a ton of pig sign. I had a pig standing right there, and I was 15 yards over there, and I just missed it. I just told you that. I shot right under it. But let me spin you around here and look at this area. And just wrecked with pig sign. The whole place is just crushed with tons of pig sign. This is like a little gold mine area. The pig I shot at was by itself. Probably a 90, 100-pound black pig all by itself. I wonder, there's got to be a lot more pigs in here. So we're going to just move through this area very, very slow. Take our time. Keep the wind in our face. That is a goddamn alligator. Look at that. It's an alligator right there. That is a freaking alligator hanging there. We're going to try and get closer, but that's a freaking alligator in the middle of the woods. I mean, I'm not even anywhere near a river. I'm in the middle of the woods. That is an alligator in the middle of a trail. And I have been doing loops all over in here because I just missed a pig not too long ago. But look at that alligator. There's a gator in the road. And you saw it there. Right there. That's where he just went. He was sitting right up here sunning, right on top of this. I mean, this is nothing. I mean, I have been walking through these things non-stop all day. All right, well, it's day 2 of my April hog hunt here. Just ended. It's almost lunchtime here. It's 12:30 almost, and I'm gonna go into town. I don't have cell service here, so I'm gonna go. I had to drive 20 miles to get cell service, and then I can check my emails, my voicemails, call my wife, check in, that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna do that. But it's been a good morning. Actually, yesterday sucked. Yesterday was my first day here, and I got out and I saw one pig cross the road in front of my car on the way in, so that was pretty exciting. But I did not see any other pigs the rest of the day. I think I jumped 2 pigs out of one swamp over there because they sounded like pigs, you know, very slow trot through the water. It wasn't like deer. You can tell deer are bounding and hopping and jumping, and they make a lot more noise. And these didn't do that, but I couldn't see them. I also think if they were deer, I would have saw them because it wasn't that high of palmetto in there. So I'm assuming those were hogs that I crashed into the water. I saw 2 armadillos. I saw 2 armadillos yesterday, and that was it. But the bugs, once you get to be about 1 o'clock, these little tsetse fly things, you can't stop them with a thermocell. You can't stop them with 100% DEET. They're just straight up brutal, especially with no wind. And temps 85 degrees. It's like 90, 92 degrees in the swamps. It's pretty brutal for that midday kind of thing, up until about the last hour of daylight, and then it starts to calm down a little bit. But you can't even stand. If you stand still, they swarm you so bad you can't see, you can't hear, you can't breathe. They just overwhelm you, so that kind of sucks. You can see them starting to catch up to me right now a little bit as I'm slowing down here. But yeah, like I said, they'll get horrible. But this morning, got out here, beautiful 50 degrees when I started, right at daybreak. And I got into one hog that I actually snuck up to within 12 yards of it, no shot or nothing. So then I had to sling around and wiggle, and he was still moving a little bit. And at 15 yards, I caught up with him again, as he popped through here, but he had been spinning so many times I couldn't tell which was the front, which was the back. I had him standing there perfectly broadside, but I couldn't see his head and I couldn't see his tail. All I could see was like the shoulder, you know, his legs, but I couldn't tell what was what at first. And then he took one more step and I said, okay, there he is, there's his head. And he took another step. I was already at full draw and ready, and he took one more step through there, and I shot, and I went just underneath him, boom, boom, you know, right through the pocket of the leg and the belly, but right, just missed low. And I didn't get him. And then I saw an alligator. That was pretty cool. Right on the same path that I walked in on, one of these roads like I'm on right now that's about maybe a mile and a half farther back from where I am right now, and crosses over a little hole. And I came up there, and I was working each side of that road, you know, going in 150, 200 yards, making big loops, trying to see. This is over by where I shot at that pig. And I was trying to come back. I came back out on a loop, and sure enough, there was a gator sitting right there. I got a video of it. You should be seeing it right about now, or it should be in here for you. So that's my first day and a half. If weather holds, I'm going to stay and hunt tonight and then tomorrow morning, and then we got some storms moving in tomorrow afternoon, and I don't want to deal with them and pack up my tent and all that stuff in there and put it away wet. So best case scenario, I'm probably going to be bailing tomorrow after, you know, this time tomorrow. Worst case, if I go check that weather and that storm's moving in overnight like they're saying the potential for it is, I'm probably going to turn around and bail after I hunt tonight. Reason for it is, you know, look at these bugs already, but I don't mind hunting in the rain. I do it all the time, but being 90 degrees and raining, it washes your DEET off. You can't wear rain gear because it's too brutal. It's just straight up too brutal, that being rain gear, 90 degree weather, and moving. And then the other kicker is if you don't wear the rain gear, all of your DEET washes right off, and these bugs just demolish you. So it's a pretty brutal experience as it is. And like I said, so I'll probably see what that's going to do and go from there. So we'll be back in a few.
One of the things hunting in Georgia you got to watch out for is that your roads are not always there anymore. As you can see, that is flooded for as far as you can imagine. I can't even see, but the road's supposed to go and wrap around that corner. And there is definitely no going through that one. I've been through a couple. As you can see, it's pretty bad through here. You know, I've been through quite a few of these puddles, but that one there is definitely a no-go. Where when I was here in December, I could drive this whole road and go way back in there. Right now, that's it. We're cut off. The gator right there. Look at him there. Just in this little hole. Little pond right here. Just a little dude. There. Just chilling.
Like I said, bugs are pretty bad during the day. As you can see, I have 100% DEET on. And they are just wrecking me. I can't see. They're in your mouth, they're in your nose. They're everywhere. It's just brutal. These little flying ants, little tsetse flies. But look at this here. I'm on the side of a 2-track right here. I just came up. We're quite a ways back in here, but look at this. Look at this area right here. Look at this. I'll zoom in a little tighter. Look at all this wrecked right in here. Going right up and over there. So we're going to go in and find out where it goes to and see what we got here.
All right, guys, just got back. Day 2, just coming to an end here. What do we end up with? We saw the one pig this morning that I got a shot at 15 yards. I missed clean right through the armpit there, you know, low. Didn't even touch him. You can see all my arrows are actually on here, and no nothing. But so I missed clean on that pig at 15 yards. I saw 2 gators today. I saw 2 cottonmouth snakes. I saw an armadillo, and I saw a possum, and I saw a turkey. And then the turkey was just a little hen by herself, actually, kind of unique. But that was all I saw today. The heat's ridiculous. 93 degrees today. 93 freaking degrees. And that was what it said on my car. And that was after it was already running and warmed up. But, I mean, that was legit temperature, and it was brutal. And the bugs midday through the evening are just unbearable. I got my thermocell strapped on my pack right now, which is doing pretty good at keeping the mosquitoes away from me right now currently. But like I said, it doesn't help for those little flies. They're just straight up brutal. And so I got one more shot. I'm going to hunt tomorrow morning. Then tomorrow again is going to be another one of those 90-degree days, and then we have rain coming in tomorrow afternoon. So I'm going to hunt till probably noon or 1, and then I'm going to pack up my tent, and then I'm going to roll out of here and head home. The mornings seem to be productive with how hot it is. I don't think these pigs are moving at all midday. They're just wallowing up somewhere, and I have covered so much ground trying to find where they are. And, I found a lot of sign, but that was it. Just one pig today, one pig yesterday. So, I mean, maybe tomorrow I'll get lucky and get one pig and get a shot. So we'll see what happens. All right. Talk to you in a bit. Bye.
All right, it is morning of the third day. And I found this spot yesterday, middle of the day yesterday, coming out through here. And I saved it for this morning. The mornings have been the best time to see these pigs, is what I'm finding here. I mean, that's when they're active still. I'm not seeing nothing in the evenings or midday, just too hot. But we have this green road right here. This is DNR access only. Nobody can get back here. They're all gated off. And as you can see, nobody's been on them forever except for DNR. And well, what we have here is down this one right here. Down here, there is like 4 wallows, 2 on this side and 2 on that side down there, and there's like 6 trails that are coming across that are super heavy use. Problem is my wind is blowing kind of this way, so if I go down there, I'm risking my scent killing anything in this area, not letting them come across. I'm expecting them to be heading into here, so we're going to sit here for about a half hour, maybe 45 minutes, see if anything crosses. If something does cross, then I can move fast to get down there and get in on them and follow them and find them. That's my intention anyway. Like I said, they got it all tore up everywhere down here, but there's a heavy concentration. There's a pothole of water right there. There's another one bigger down there, and I think they're crossing through that finger, that big point right in the middle of it. Goes back into that swamp. That's my plan, but I cannot be on it because of the wind direction. So I'm waiting here to see if anything does. If not, my intention is to go in here and go in about 80 to 100 yards and then parallel all the way down this road to the other side down there, and then come back and do the same thing and zigzag through this as a last attempt to see if I can't find something if they're in there bedded already. So that's my plan so far. Poison ivy. Stuff is growing on every tree and at the base of every tree. Everywhere you turn here, poison ivy. So you better be careful. Look at all these pig tracks. Look at this. Right between that little hole, right up through there. Look at that. Right here in all this slosh. I can just tore up. All right, we are heading out. I can see my truck up there, so I know it's pretty safe to talk now, but this is the end of my half a day 3. I hunted for 2.5 days, today being half a day. But I am coming to an end here, and I got to go pack up my camp. And then I'm going to head home. Again, we got storms coming in this afternoon, and I don't want to deal with them, and I don't want to deal with the tent, and I don't want to deal with the hunting in that crap. When it's 90-something degrees, 95 degrees out here and dealing with it, because I can't wear rain gear or I'll die, and I can't go without rain gear because my bug spray will wash right off and I'll die. So it's not really an option anyway. You cut it here. So I'm basically pulling out. I did not see anything this morning, which kind of shocked me. I was hoping and pretty hopeful. I found this area yesterday, and I hunted all over it around it today and had big plans and high hopes, and didn't see a thing. So but the trip was a good success. I mean, if you think about it, I was here for 2.5 days. I only saw one pig, but I did have that pig inside of 15 yards and got a shot and missed. So so you still pretty much call that a success, I guess. But April's a lot tougher. This is a tougher month to be here. And but it was a good trip. I was excited. I'm going to do some things different next year. We'll talk about that a little bit. I'm going to get back to the car and finish up this vlog here. Like I said, this is a whole pig season vlog, I think is what it's going to end up being. And I will finish it up once I get in the car and get on the road and start driving back.
Anyway, anyway, I thought it'd be a good time to do that little recap on my pig hunt. Now, if you're looking for more visuals and things like that, you're done. It's over. You don't have to watch anymore. This is just going to be me talking for a minute, kind of recapping it and what I learned and that sort of stuff. So I did a total this year of 4 hog hunts, equaling 11 days is what I did. I did the first time I came down here with my wife for 2.5 days. I killed a hog on that trip. That was that January one. Then I came back down in February with my wife for 3 days. We did not kill anything. We only saw 1 pig that whole time for that one. And then we did then I went to South Carolina and I saw 28 hogs and I was there actually 3 days I was there, but I didn't see a pig at all the first day, so it was 28 hogs in 2 days. I was on fire then. And then this one where I saw 1 hog is all I saw on this trip, and we're going through a tunnel here, sorry. So actually I saw 2, I take it back, but I only saw 1 with a bow in my hand, so either way you cut it, really I saw 1. And so all in all, it was a pretty good, pretty good trip, pretty good setup, and I was pretty excited about how it all went. Now, and of those, when I look back on them, only one of those trips did I not have a shot at hogs, where I've either killed one. I killed that 1 hog on the first trip. Second trip, I did not see any hogs that were in shooting range, that were in close enough for me to shoot at. The third trip, South Carolina, I did have plenty of hogs inside of range, and I actually let go of 1 arrow, which I missed and hit a tree on a pig that was taken off out of there when these guys were all, I busted them. I spooked them, and they all were leaving, and this last straggler came by, and I missed and hit a tree. And then this trip here, I missed a pig at 15 yards. These things don't stand still. Pigs do not stand still. They do not stay still for long. They're moving constantly, and it gets tricky sometimes, especially in real thick stuff like river cane and palmetto. And I missed right under the armpit at 15 yards. So 3 of my 4 trips would have technically been success for the most part, especially if I was gun hunting. If I was gun hunting, my God, I could have killed, 8 pigs the first trip down here. I could have killed the 1 pig that we did see that second trip down here. Tina couldn't with the rifle. She just couldn't get set up and get everything together in time to do it. That's who was mainly hunting that one. And then on the South Carolina hunt, I could have probably killed. I could have killed all 28 of those pigs were inside of 30 yards. So that would have been pretty easy. Now, obviously, I couldn't have shot 1 pig while there's 10 there and the rest of them stay there. So it wouldn't have could have killed all 28. They would have scattered breaking in a pool table. But point is, they were all there. And then this trip here, this one here would have been, 2. So I can't complain. So out of 4 hunts, 3 of them resulted in me being able to have the opportunity at an ethical, close range, under 20 yard shot on a pig. So that's pretty good. I'm pretty excited about it. Next year, I'm going to do some things different because I had to take 4 trips this year, and each of these 4 trips were literally for 2.5 to 3 days. And that's brutal hard. That's hard. I mean, this is a 15, 16 hour drive each way from my house down here. That makes for a long drive to, spend 16 hours on the road and then hunt for 3 days and then 16 hours back. Fortunately, gas has not been too bad because I had my camper down here for a couple of them, so that was not an issue. And then the last 2 that I came down for myself, I had my little Jeep Renegade, which cost me about $60 in gas to do that trip each way. So very affordable, very simple, very easy to do that, make it happen. So all in all, that was good. But next year, I'm going to try and double that 11 days. I'm going to try and make it where I'm going to try to get down here for about 2 weeks in January. I may only hunt out of that 14 days. I might hunt 10 of them and take 4 days or 3 days and spend that time with, with my wife doing stuff. We'll have the camper down here and do some of that kind of stuff. So that's my intention anyway. But that will get me about 10 days of hunting right there, and then come back down for a long week in February as well too. That'll give me 17 days of hunting, and then in March I plan on doing 5 days, which is the most you can do with the way the rules are. In March I'll do 5 days in South Carolina. So what am I at there? What am I at? 17. That's 23 days. No, wait. Where am I at? Yeah, something like. No, I'm at 15 and 5. I'm at 20 days. Sorry, I'm trying to drive and do math. So that puts me at 20 days, and then I'm probably done. I'm probably not coming back down here in April again. This is my second time down to Georgia in April this year, and then me and John came down for 3 days last year. April, I don't do very well down here. I don't know why, but it's just maybe it's too hot. The pigs don't move till too late in the day, too late at night. I'm not sure, but April is my 2 trips I've had in April have been not all that impressive. So I probably won't come back down here to South Georgia in April. What I might do is go to North Georgia, way up on the north edge, right on the Tennessee line there, and get up in the mountains of Georgia and try like an April mountain hunt up there. That I might do, because it's probably a little cooler temperatures than it is down south, and probably a little bit better, I'm guessing. I don't know, but I'm going to probably try that maybe in April next year will be the game plan, and my wife will love it too, because we can keep the camper there. And then when we're done with that trip, we'll bring the camper back home. So that's kind of my game plan. It's kind of how the whole season went. I got everything kind of laid out here for you. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and that basically sums it up. So thanks for watching. We'll talk to you soon. All right, bye.